Hey, 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 welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in again for day 2 or tip 2. And I kind of labeled it that way so you don't have to take in all of the information, in one sitting. So a day at a time is well enough, well and good. So hopefully you get to digest it and then come back and ask more questions. But I am Sophia Antoine. I'm a certified life and relationship coach. Right now, I'm talking about chronic illness. Oh my gosh, chronic illness because my husband will be celebrating his count 'em five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his fifth kidney anniversary. So on December 10th, 2015, he received a successful, thank you Lord, successful kidney transplant at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami, Florida. So we will be forever grateful for December 10th, 2015. So it was an amazing, amazing, amazing day. And the journey goes on. So today is a big one. And I think I'm going to label all of them big ones because you just have to do all of them. That's why I didn't put these in any particular order. So if you're watching these out of order, that's fine. I am just recording the videos as I, get all of my thoughts down on paper. I have my handy dandy notes as always, just to share with you things that helped me throughout my caregiver journey because I look back and try to process each year and see what I can do to help other people who find themselves in this situation. Right now, I know it's 2020, COVID is a big thing. A lot of people have long-lasting, lingering effects from, their COVID fight, and this I think will be applicable. Not only that, but a lot more people are being diagnosed with chronic illnesses, and I want to help in any way I possibly can. So this is my way of helping those who have to be the caregivers for those who are battling chronic illnesses. So it could be your child, it could be your parent, which I did that for a little while too. It just could be someone that's really close to you, an aunt or an uncle. For me, it was my husband, and that is a very thin line to be wife and caregiver because in a way you kind of mourn the way the relationship was supposed to be. You mourn the way the relationship was and the future of the relationship. And if all goes well, you can bounce back from this a few years later and you get back on track. But for some people, that's not the case. For us, I believe we really did bounce back. While everything isn't 100%, it's so much better, so much closer than we were, just a few years ago or at the time when he was on dialysis. So, that plays a big part. But again, my disclaimer, I am not a medical doctor. So follow the advice of your physician. I will not tell you to deter from it. You do what you feel is best along with your provider, and y'all work out something that's best for your spouse or your family member or whoever it is you're caring for with chronic illness. Got it? Good. So my 3 asks, I ask you 3 things every time I come here and give you a tip. 1 is trust the process. Trust the process. It is a process for a reason. Yours may not look like mine, but it is indeed a process. Just trust it. 2, reach out for help at the very moment you feel overwhelmed or you think you're going to get overwhelmed or you're not sure about anything. Reach out to get help. There is help out there. Even if it's not somebody immediate, it will be somebody there to help you. And the very last thing, if you can't find somebody that's there to help you, please do use the information below. It'll come up in a little bit right after this keep in touch banner, and it'll show you bit.ly/connectwithcoach. That's me, and I do offer a free 30-minute session just to talk you through. If you need more than that 30 minutes, we can work it out, but a good 30-minute vent session, it'll do you wonders, okay? So today, something I had a lot of trouble with, and it was resting. I suggest you do your best to rest because I'm just going to use myself for an example. I'm going to tell you that the diagnosis, that was stressful. So we didn't get a lot of rest after that. Going to the doctor's visit, anticipating lab results. I didn't get a lot of rest after that. Neither one of us did. But right now I'm talking to caregivers. Neither one of us did. So finally, when he had to go on dialysis, when, the doctor said, your kidney function is below level, a safe level for you to continue going on how you're going, Mr. Antoine, we have to put you on dialysis. That was a very stressful day because we had driven to the doctor's offices in different cars, and he didn't come straight home after he had been delivered the news. So it was a very stressful time. And I didn't know what to do or what to think. When we finally did get the call for surgery, we went to the hospital, and prior to, getting set up for surgery and everything, that was stressful. I didn't get a lot of rest that night. Then he went into surgery. The surgery took 7.5 hours. So that anticipation, I should have been resting for the time that he came out of surgery. What else happened? At the time that the doctor, shout out to Dr. Chen. She is an amazing nephrologist down at Jackson Memorial Hospital. If you're in Florida, she's awesome. If you happen to see her, know her, hear of her, shout out to Dr. Chen. Let her know that the Antoines are still going strong. She's amazing. So she came in, she told me everything. She kept me abreast of everything, every step of the way. And she, that caused my adrenaline to keep going. So then after that, I still had to wait. I remember the last video, there's a lot of hurry up and wait. So she came, told me everything was good with the surgery, and then I had to wait to see him, probably another hour. When I finally was able to see him, he was in recovery. He had been intubated and couldn't talk much, but that rose my excitement level. So I was just awake. My adrenaline was pumping for maybe 48 hours at a time. At that time, let's see. After we got out of the hospital, there was doctor's visits, because everything you're doing, you want to make sure you're doing everything right. So I had to be on point for everything. I wasn't resting like I was supposed to. So I don't know what your thing is in regards to your spouse's or your family member's chronic illness. What I can say is make sure you rest. And I just noticed, pardon the glare on my glasses from my lighting system, okay? So what's important is the information that you can see me, not really that I can see you. But yeah, it was a whole lot of excitement crammed into, various sessions, and it seemed like it kept coming back to back to back to back to back. So it's important you rest. Just like when you're a new mother bringing home a baby, the doctors tell you to sleep when the baby sleeps. Sleep when your loved one sleeps if you can afford to. Sleep when, they're resting, or if they've just eaten or something like that, when they're in a good state. Resting doesn't always mean sleep. Resting could mean putting your feet up. It could mean doing a crossword puzzle. It could mean soaking your feet. It could mean playing video games. My thing is video games now, coloring. Resting could mean coloring. Buy you some new crayons, buy you a coloring book. I love coloring with markers. So buy you some new markers. Treat yourself. And it could be just the most, minuscule thing possible, which wouldn't mean something to anybody else, but it could be something humongous for you. Get yourself some new crayons, markers, however you want to do it. Just make sure you rest. Because I didn't have a lot of rest. If you've watched the first video, you heard me say that I snapped at my husband a couple times. I'm sure he didn't understand why. There was once when he was in the hospital and he needed me to do something. I was like, call the nurse. I was like, why would I tell him to call the nurse when I'm there? But I was sleeping and I was exhausted. And I think I slept one time for like 3 or 4 hours, which was unheard of for me while caring for him. So you need to realize, one, be patient, our first video. Second, rest, because you'll need the rest. You definitely need to know your threshold. I dropped the ball more times than I care to admit during this whole journey, this whole process. And because of that, I can be here and make these videos and share my shortcomings with you. Is it easy? No, it's not. Is it embarrassing? A little bit. But if it gives somebody else's family the information that they need to go ahead and have a better experience, have a better caregiving experience, that's what I want to do. It's not about how I feel about it anymore, because I've already gone through it. It's about helping the people who have embarked on this journey for the very first time in, years later than I have, and showing them that there's a better way. If they take these things into consideration, they could possibly have a better experience. And that's all it's about. Life is full of experiences. Life is full of memories. And while there were a lot of touch and go moments, one comes to mind in particular because we were at the hospital, not Miami, not Jackson Memorial, but we were in Broward County at the time. And he had, again, I was staying with him. I had taken off work to stay with my husband. And there was this really rude doctor that came in. And she had wanted to flush his IV. He said no, he wasn't ready because it's an anxious experience, an anxiety-causing experience. So she flushed it anyway. She pushed it in. And he went into a seizure and he passed out. When I tell you the rage that built up in me, but I couldn't do anything with her at that time because I needed to attend to him. I am so glad that I was there. This story has nothing to do with resting, but it's the fact that I was there and she wasn't paying attention because she had her back turned to him, flushing the IV. She didn't notice that he had passed out. So I'm there calling him, and she's looking at me like, why the hell are you making such a fuss? Then when she realized he'd passed out, then she went into action, doing whatever it is she was supposed to do. And I was still calling to him. And when he woke up, he had said that the only reason he woke up was because he heard me calling his name in this frantic manner, as I have a habit of doing when I feel like something is wrong. But I was calling him in this frantic manner. He was like, man, what the hell does she want now? What's going on now? What does she need me to do now? And it was just good to see him wake up, his eyes flutter open. So you're going to have beautiful moments. You're going to have scary moments when you go through this. You are. But if you just trust the process, coming from somebody who's on the other side of it, we're not completely free and clear because we're going to have to keep up with medications and things like that, and insurances, and oh my God, insurance. But make sure you're well rested in order to be the best you can, so you can be alert, so you can know what your person's signs and symptoms are, so you can notice anything out of the ordinary, because it's necessary that you are there to advocate for them. Okay? It's up to you to take care of you so you can take care of them. I hope that makes sense. So, again, I thank you for tuning in for this series. This is 2 in 10. So I have about 8 more to do for you. I hope you enjoy them. If it doesn't pertain to you, please, please, please do me a solid and share it out. Like it so it can like the video so it can share up in other people's timelines, their news feed, wherever you happen upon the videos. Please share them because they could help somebody, because somebody is just starting this journey and they need to know this. And while I say I am a life coach for women, this information pertains to men too, because men are caregivers too. They love their wives, they love their spouses, they love whoever it is they're with. Maybe it's their child, maybe it's their parent. Men care too. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you share it out, and I look forward to making the next video for you. Oh my gosh, so emotional. Cannot talk, but thank you again. I appreciate you. Reach out anytime. That link, bit.ly/connectwithcoach, that does lead you to all of my social media sites. It'll lead you to a page. You can find me wherever you happen to be on social media. All right? Take care and be good.